i-Invitational Season 4. We are back for our last and final series of the day. And also the final series for the upper bracket of Group B. That's right, one of these two teams that we're going to see play is going to move forward to playoffs Sunday, while the other one still has to play an elimination Saturday. I know, it's a lot to take in. To help you process it all, we have this splendid British panel of ODPixel and Pyrian Flex right next to me.
The expert panel.
The expert British panel.
The expert. Yeah. We thought we'd bring in a bit of class to the coverage, really, here on the British panel for the viewers at home. Much to
Good
their,
effort.
their
Good
happiness,
effort.
I'm sure.
Yeah. Any questions?
Well, actually, I do have
Quiz us.
questions.
Okay.
I'm going to start off because we're going to have a matchup between Newbee and Mineski. Both teams obviously just coming off a win, otherwise they wouldn't be here in the upper bracket. So I'm just going to start off just casually. Odie, what do you think of this matchup?
I think before today, I would have certainly said Newbee to take it quite clearly. But after being so impressed by Mineski this morning, sure, you could look at the game that was the crazy game.
They should have lost
You
it.
could look at it in two ways. For a start, it's like, well, Mineski screwed up because they're in such a bad position. But I look at it in the sense that Mineski, they let themselves get in a bad position because they wanted a challenge. And then they were able to pull it back in the fashion that they did.
Absolutely.
And if you can win a game from that position, you're gonna certainly have a shot against a team, even like Newbee. You know, Newbee is already, they dropped a game today against Empire. Something caught them off guard. There's sort of the Ghost Stick coming in with this Enchantress. There's sort of Blitz mentioned. The Chinese maybe not too used to seeing in their games. Destroyed them. Maybe if Mineski can come in with something that Newbee don't quite expect, Mineski can absolutely take a game, may even take the series. They can stall these games. We saw it against
Just tire them out.
You know, exactly. You know, Newbee, they, I believe on average, I remember Nahar's dropping some stats before. It was like 35 to 40 minutes. Newbee, that's when they win their games. If you're Mineski and you can hold like you did this morning around that 35 to 40 minute marks, doesn't matter if you're not going to Iraq, you can just defend the Ancient. We might see some crazy comebacks from Mineski in this game.
What do you say to that, Ted?
I say Newbee are going to win it 2-0. That's what I think. I really do. I think they're all warmed up. They've just played a series. They're coming back fresh. I think the thing is, like everybody thinks players are going to want to break. They don't play like that normally. They don't play a couple of games of dirt and then go and sit around for 4 hours. They play continuously.
True.
So I think the fact that you've had to have a break is a bad thing. Mineski probably kind of sit around going, come on, let's get on with it. And Newbee are like, bam, 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 and they're just ready to play again.
I saw Newbee sitting there, and they were eating, and they were like, when's the next Dota
they
game? You know, they want to go.
Play. That's what they do, and they're all warmed up. They were really, the start of the series against Empire, like Owen said, looked a little surprised, but I think they know Mineski well enough.
Right.
And they know the players and everything, and I just think Newbee, they turned it on in that last game. It was like, breezed past Empire. Looked devastating.
Well, I like this, because we got one for Mineski, we got one for Newbee. So I like this, because I want to hear both of yours opinion, and you can try to convince each other, maybe.
I mean, no convincing Ted, you know. I mean, we're both British, you know. We've got our ideals. We stick to them. We ain't going to let any sort of
There's no logic or argument
swing us away from our...
Okay. Nah, mate, nah. Newbee. Yeah. That's what I think. They're just too good. They're just too good.
What's the key factor for Newbee taking this?
Getting the draft right, which they did in the last 2 games, I think. And they just play so damn well. Like, the movement is really good. Their awareness is really, really good. I thought in Empire, actually, in game 1, I thought Nyx on the Tinker was unbelievably good. And Empire just absolutely ran over Newbee in a way I wasn't expecting them to do. But in games 2 and 3, it was a lot more even. Game 3 especially, Newbee just turned it up. And now that they're in top gear, they're just coasting.
They just needed the warm-up, and now they're full speed.
Up, you know, and just get back into the flow of it. And they're just such a great team to watch.
All right, key factors for Mineski then. Oh.
I mean, as I said, for Mineski, I would like to see them sort of stray from the norm, come at Newbee with something that Newbee won't quite expect.
Yep.
At the same time, I think you have to be worried because, you know, by no means, I'm not saying Mineski's going to win this because Newbee are.
You're saying
I agree with Ted.
They could.
You already have convinced him, Ted,
I agree with Ted.
He's backing out.
Newbee are the better team. I'm saying Mineski definitely have a chance. This isn't one of those series where you say. You look at it from the start and says 2-0. No, exactly. This is a series where I'm saying Mineski definitely have a chance. And I think for Mineski to improve their chance, they need to be very careful at what they let Newbee through in the first 2 picks, which I think is very hard because you're either sort of looking at these Naga Siren combinations that you want to take away We saw in the last series the attempt to pick the Naga themselves, Empire, against Newbie to try and stop them from having that on top of it.
Didn't work out.
This is the hard thing, you know. We see how well Newbie can play with it, and I'm not saying, you know, that Empire aren't used to playing it, but I think it's quite clear that they took it because they were playing against Newbie, and they used their bans. They wanted to try it themselves. Yeah, the sort of the setup, the coordination was nowhere near what Kaka and the boys were able to pick up, set up on Newbie. So you look to the Naga bans, which I think is the safest. And if you're confident and you feel like you've got a strat to deal with a Naga Siren, then you've got to worry about Faith's Disruptor, Kaka Sand King, these sort of combos. And then you're looking towards the KP heroes. And sure, you're sort of leaving SCCC and Mugi to the side. I think that's sort of the best thing to do. I think you really have to look at the supports and the off-lane heroes, which most teams have been doing in the drafts against Newbie. But I think definitely for Mineski, you've got to continue to do that. Maybe to the point as well, you want to be getting Ice's hero early, or at least as soon as you've seen what KP's hero is, so you can make sure you can sort of have this better off-laner matchup that's going to favor Mineski.
You know what I think is interesting, actually, is that the mini patch that we had last night, if you like, I call it a mini patch. There was a decent number of changes in there. Has not changed anybody's way of playing so far. Like everybody's just picking the exact same stuff they were picking before.
We still have some Shaman that's been sort of talked about as one of the ones that got a heavier nerf that was a prominent hero.
Which is something we were saying was an interesting change with the slow to him. By the way, I wanted to try and do, if you look at the Chinese panel, they all face the camera and talk directly to the camera. And I thought that was interesting.
Wait.
Which is it this one?
This is the one that goes to your
This one on the right.
That's the one to the whole
They do tend to do that, and then they'll occasionally talk and say something to each other, but then on the whole, they're looking directly at the camera.
That's the wrong camera, Ted. Come on, step it up. Yeah, there we go.
This one. See, they do that too.
Now it just looks like you're introducing the news on.
It does, yeah.
So basically, the whole panel segment, we're just not talking to each other, but we're just talking to the camera?
Yeah, just like that.
All right,
stop looking at me.
Oh.
Stop looking at me, Ted.
I would imagine that is very unnerving for the people at home, I think.
No, they love it.
Do they? How do you know?
You just give them the eyes,
well,
you know.
They'll let us know if they don't like it, I guess. Who do you think is going to win this one, Owen?
I feel like I'm in an anime now. You know, like in the animes, they're always sort of looking at the cameras, aren't they?
Yeah,
you know, giving these sort of little spiels about how
You're
their
right,
life's
this is
going.
too anime. Let's change it. Do something else.
I agree, Ted.
But it's much more comfortable, I think, talking to each other. I don't like talking to viewers.
No, it's. I feel like I can see, you know, little Tommy sat at home in his PJs eating his pizza. Have a good one, Tommy. We've got a fantastic series
And now
up
Tommy just feels judged. What are you doing?
I'm watching you. That webcam, it is on. The blue light might not be there, but I can see you.
Oh, now this is getting dark.
Stop touching your nipples, Tommy.
Scary.
Jesus, Owen, please.
So Tommy just thought, you know, he could get a sneaky
pizza
pizza in while sitting at his PC. You know, nobody knows that that's happening, and there's Owen just judging him from afar.
Secretly watching a child on a webcam. Let's take a break from this.
Nobody said Tommy's age.
Come on. Tommy is a 70-year-old retired pensioner who has an avid love for Dota 2.
All right, fair enough.
Yes.
I mean, I just don't. I hear the word PJs.
PJs.
I assume that's not a grown-up. Does he talk about his PJs? I mean, to be fair, I say I'm going to get my PJs on. But I
do grown-ups
you talk about your long johns.
I am wearing long johns.
Are you wearing your long johns
It's bloody
today?
cold, yeah.
Oh, man.
It is actually a lot warmer today, not gonna lie.
I feel like I should live in a shack, come out in my long johns shaking a shotgun at a youngster who's on my land. That could be you.
It's not very British.
No, it's not. You're right. That's very.
We
that's
don't do
guns,
American. Do we? No, that's more of an American thing.
Anyway, back to the Dota.
Back to the Dota.
Yeah, go on
Your
then.
experiment lasted long enough. I'm now lower than I was before. Otherwise, I couldn't sit under the desk. I feel like I'm short now.
How did you lower yourself?
You have a lever on the thing.
That was pretty good.
That was perfectly synchronized.
I was messing with the camera.
Yeah, I was going to say, we were just making it life hard for
you gotta let go.
The man behind the camera.
That was a good coordinated dip.
It was. Well, we got the same birthday, Ted, you know.
Yeah, we
were on one of those sort of mental levels.
Yeah, same birthday, everything else. It's pretty
true.
different, I'd say.
Pretty different.
Yeah.
All right, back to the Dotes, though.
Okay.
It's going to be Newbee Mineski. We already know your favorites, and that's all great.
And they're not favorites. You can't put this on.
Trying to bail out.
I mean, I don't care.
You said at the start.
It doesn't matter to me who wins. I don't have a favorite.
They're going to tire them out and then win.
I said that Mineski. You can't just put words into my mouth.
Owen just said that Mineski's going to take this.
He
That's
seemed
what I heard.
confident. He said they were his favorite team.
Can we get Red Eye back, please?
No. I mean, therefore,
let's talk about SCCC because I'm on the camera.
I always want to talk about SCCC.
He's a fantastic player.
Yes.
Yeah, he
absolutely phenomenal.
We saw him on the OD, and we also saw Mushi on the OD. I don't think we're going to see one today. anymore.
I don't know.
I think we could see the OD get through because, as I say,
very strong.
Yeah.
His OD was fantastic.
It really was.
He's just the thing is, like you were saying about how trying to ban out the supports of Newbee, whether that's a way to get at the carries, because the carry players, they could play a whole bunch of things, but if you can remove or really eliminate the supports as an issue, the carries become way less powerful. I think it's easier to just counter and get rid of the supports and the roamers, you know, ruin the lanes in that way, rather than directly try to counter a carry. So I think it's better for them to go after the supports and the roamers rather than the carry. If you're trying to outdraft Newbee.
Yeah, I mean that's what OD said as well. Is to focus on the supports and the offlaner as well.
Exactly.
I mean, because you don't have to focus on the supports for the whole draft, because Newbee, been pretty much opening with their 2 supports.
Yeah,
so it's just sort of the opening 3 bans, you take them away. Sometimes you're sort of left on a bit of a question because they'll pick these heroes like the Sand King, and you're like, well, it could be Kaka. But it also could be KP. We don't know where that hero is going to go, so you do have to bear that in mind when you draft against Newbee.
Yeah. What do you think? That if Mineski were looking for a draft here, like if you think about the games that they won against Empire, they sort of, that nice surprise timber pick that they came in with to win that first game, where they were just like, you guys actually don't stand a chance here. They need to do something like that. But I feel like that's going to be much harder to do against Newbee. I think they draft a much more solid lineup.
I think, Newbee's drafting has been very solid. I think they're very unlikely to get caught out by a pick like that. I mean, maybe... There's certain heroes that can sometimes sort of be hard to plan for, like maybe like a surprise Huskar pick, you know. It's been a while since we've had a good Huskar.
We haven't had a good Huskar.
No, so that's sort of a hero that you have got to watch out for, sort of being thrown in.
By the way, in the previous cast, I noticed an awful lot of flame for you.
Oh yeah,
coming out of Blitz about Faceless Void.
Yeah, I'd like to see a Void win today.
Yeah, we would like to see a Void win.
Which we could do, because Newbee might pick Void. We've seen Newbee Void with if they get the Naga Siren. They did it against at least once, where they picked the Void as sort of their massive sort of combo.
But Blitz hates that hero. And Fogged was saying that Axe is a bad hero. These are some of my favorite heroes.
I mean, I can sort of agree with the Axe.
Yeah,
we don't see a lot of Axe.
Well, he had a bad
I don't think we're
lane,
going to see Axe this series. That's unlikely.
I don't think we're going to see Axe for the rest of the tournament.
I really don't. He needs a buff. Because they took away the jungle, and the offlane's too damn hard, so they made life way too difficult for Axe.
They really did.
So I think one of the heroes you're looking at between these 2 offlaners is it's definitely going to be the Tide Hunter.
Yeah.
Both KP and i-Ice, some of the best Tide Hunter players in the game at the moment. So excited to see where that goes. Tide Hunter and Omni, they're the 2 big offlaners.
I've got a theory about Ice. He keeps his head down for game 1. He ties it up for game 2. Nope, he's tying it up for game 1. Okay, that means it's down to business.
Oh, it's serious modes.
Because he had it down for game 1, I'm almost certain.
Yeah, I think you were right.
And game 2, he tied it up. It's like the business do.
He's putting a lot of effort into tying it up.
But they won both games, right?
Yeah.
They did, but the second one was very close.
What does it matter where his hair is?
Matters to me. As a non-hair haver, I paid great attention to what other people with hair.
Did you used to have a ponytail?
No, I never had a ponytail. What do you think? I wasn't like some 80s banker.
A banker?
Yeah, like a stockbroker or something.
Why would a stockbroker?
Well, bankers had ponytails.
In the 80s, they were all ponytails and rolled up sleeves on their shirts and things like that, like Miami Vice style, right? He looks like he's not really caring. KP's just like
he just wants a Dota.
Yeah, he's miles away. That is a relaxed dude.
He's chill. KP is ready to roll.
And the earplugs go in. That means that the draft is very close. Now, we already know some heroes that we're going to look out for, especially for the offlaners, for the supports as well.
Mineski
Time to get down to business.
Take the Naga. Think about the Sand King Disruptor if you want to let that through, because it's going to get picked up straight away. And, well, that's the draft gone. All right, there we have it. Yeah, Disruptor, take that off.
Get the bounty out.
Nagasai, Sand King, you want to be aware. Maybe the Night Stalker Banes, but I think Mineski might want to keep the Night Stalker Bane for themselves. They might even just open with those 2.
I mean, we've had some good bounty games already in the tournament, I think. He's just one of those heroes. He does enable so much.
I mean, to be fair, if you're Newbee, Bounty was the hero that was one of the big reasons why you've lost a game today. So even though you're not playing against the same team.
But he's just really good. I mean, I like what the way pro teams use him is so smart. Just always give him visibility for other heroes, and all the extra money you get from the kills is just, it's such a huge obstacle to overcome, that lead that a bounty kill.
I like this. Well, Newbee, they're literally just banning the heroes they lost to.
Yeah,
we lost to Bounty, we lost to Enchantress.
We didn't like this guy.
I don't know if you guys play him, but we don't want to play against these heroes that got tools today.
That is one thing that Mineski have seen today, is what Newbee don't like. So I think it makes sense. You've seen the heroes that they don't like to play against, so we could have picked those, but no.
Newbee doesn't like it if a team can play faster than they do.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, Newbee,
shout.
and they showed that the last game, and Newbee just played like a bullet with the magic
Yeah,
missile,
very
vengeful
fast.
spirit, just zooming down lanes. But these are nothing really surprising, I don't think, from Mineski's bans. The tiny from Newbee, something that Mineski do like to run pretty frequently, and as I say, the other two heroes, just heroes that Newbee seem unable to deal with today. So Mineski, actually, they're going to take a similar approach to what we saw being done against Newbee last series, taking the Naga Siren away from Newbee and running it as their own.
Are they going to try and get a Lycan in here, Mineski? I wonder.
I think it's definitely a
I feel like at the moment teams see that as the safer way to play. You get the Naga, you get the Lycan, maybe you get the Tide, and you just kind of play that steady stuff.
I feel like you really want to look at the heroes that the Naga Siren is going to set up, which we sort of saw as a bit of a lacking in the game where Empire picked the Naga and they lost because they had the Void. But as sort of mentioned, it just
run it with the Darkseer. I like that. The setup, you know, you get the
Darkseer is not much of a hero at the moment.
Well, you say that.
I mean, neither was Axe, and we saw an Axe today. You never know. You know, teams could certainly try out some new stuff.
Against a melee carry, I think he's still pretty good.
His vacuum didn't get nerfed, did it yet? That's going to be in a couple of weeks.
No changes to him.
No.
They've got every 2 weeks there could be a slight change to vacuum. I think on a fortnightly basis, it either goes up or down, cooldown-wise, by 1 second, just to keep it fresh.
You know, all 3 games so far for Newbee, they've been able to pick up the Sand King in the first 2. They're completely lost about what to do without that Sand King.
Yeah, they're like, damn.
I think they just looked towards like the Bane Night Stalker themselves. I mean, it'll be interesting if either of these teams value Shadow Shaman. We saw it be valued earlier by Empire, but the other teams still value it despite enough. But no, Bane, again, no surprises there.
How to win mid.
I think
pick Bane.
Yeah, I think you just take Night Stalker as well because Mineski were very good with the Night Stalker. It does depend whether Naga Siren is going to be played, if Ninja Boogie is going to be playing it, because Ninja Boogie had a really good game on Night Stalker earlier today where he made some fantastic rotations. I believe he played it in both of the games
he
did. He won.
He did play it in both of the games.
He was looking very hot in the Night Stalker. So I wonder if Newbee might just take the Night Stalker themselves so that he doesn't get his hands on it.
Oh, it's an early Tide.
See, that's a deny pick.
Sarah.
I think they knew that Mineski could have gone Naga Tide.
I mean, as I said before the draft, you know, Omni Knight and Tide were the 2 offlane heroes that you look to between these 2 players.
Tide is like your go-to solid offlaner, I think.
And it would have been really nice with the Naga Siren. It's that hero that can work with the setup of the song.
Yeah.
So you take that away from Mineski as well.
I would love to see an Enigma in one of these games. I really would. With the Naga Siren, you've got the setup for it. It's just tough to lane him, that's all.
As I said, depending where the Naga is run, maybe the Night Stalker if they do want to try and set that back in.
If you've got the Naga Siren, you've even got time to get the Midnight Pulse down before you Black Hole Owen. It's the dream of an Enigma
I tell you what, I would like to see, if it is going to be Ninja Boogie on sort of the 4 Siren, I'd like to see the Rubik come through again.
Yeah.
We had a brilliant Rubik game from Mineski earlier. Jabs was getting every single Fiend's Grip, and already you've got a Bane, you've got a Tide. These are 2 heroes that are pretty nice for a Rubik.
Those are 2 good steals.
And Mineski are very good with the Rubik.
It is tough to steal Ravage, but it is definitely a thing you can do.
And you have sort of the song to help play around it yourself.
True.
You know, you can't be the Tide Hunter, but you can be a bit of the Tide Hunter to work with the Naga Siren.
Oh, wow. Mirana.
This is our
little
first
bit of a surprise.
Mirana.
Yeah, not seen this hero in a while.
Into Arrow is strong. Her ult is good for running away.
Is this then a support Mirana, mid Mirana, offlane Mirana? Because
this is their
Mineski has played this in all 4 positions.
Okay, so there you go.
That's the flexibility.
Good shout, Sheebs. This obviously leaves it open, right? So it's one of those picks where you're like, we'll pick her, we'll figure out where to put her in a bit. But I think her and Naga Siren is, I don't know if that's too...
You want to have
kind of a weird support duo, but it is also really nice.
But we've seen Mineski going for those 3 cores that don't need any extra help, allowing Ninja Boogie and Jabs to just roam around with the 2 of them. So
True that.
In that case, it could work out well. And Newbee is also very scared about that Enigma that you mentioned. They ban it out.
Just banning any sort of combo that the song of the Siren is going to set up.
Did you see that, Owen? Well, I suggested a hero, and Newbie were like, I think it's going to be Enigma.
They can hear you, Ted. You know,
either they can hear me or
they're not. They're listening to your
brain
top
is on
analysis
another level.
and are amending their draft. Yeah.
I knew I'd played Dota before.
Let's see what they take out here. Mineski, Elder Titan. Okay.
Yeah.
So a bit of a way to sort of disrupt, sort of combo break anything that Naga Siren sets out.
Just a great hero at the moment.
Get out of range, get the Spirit in, get the Stomp off, put a stop to any sort of wombo combo. Still interested, yeah, the Mirana is a bit of a question mark to me, but as you say, you know, if it's something that Mineski
I think she's a really good hero. I really do.
I think a lot of teams would disagree.
She's great, man.
I mean, I'm looking forward to see what she can do. But to pick her at this stage of the draft, it is very early on.
I wonder what Yanis thinks about Mirana. He's on the fence.
He's on the fence.
Actually, he's smiling. I think he's given a thumbs up. He says she's fantastic.
He said, if she loses this game, I'll shave my head.
Yeah.
That's Simban. A little surprised by that. I don't know if they're necessarily...
Well, Nick's ban, maybe there's an OD coming.
Yeah, good shout.
True.
Or maybe they want to bait out that last ban to be the OD so that they can pick up whatever. Because it's kind of an obvious ban otherwise, right?
I think, yeah, the OD is definitely...
also, that certainly means that Newbee didn't see Mirana as an offlaner.
No, I think it's very unlikely to be the offlane hero.
And there's the OD.
Yeah, you're absolutely bang on, Sheev there. Protecting that with the Nyx ban.
But Mineski could have seen this coming. Because they banned out Medusa instead, and they're like, we're going to give them the OD, despite SCCC being super dominant on it.
I think that OD is so good here, because you have that save now from the arrow. I think you're right. You know, Mineski, I don't know if they did see this coming, because it seems too good. You know, there's a reason why Newbee are picking it third pick, rather than leaving it to the later stages like they normally do with the mid, because they realize, hang on, this is already such a great game for the OD. Let's grab it now.
What do Mineski respond with? One thing they are lacking is beef. They've got nothing to stand and tank at the moment. Newbee have. They've got the Tide Man.
I mean, you can still look towards maybe your classic counters, if it's not going to be a mid-Mirana, because it might be, but I think you are just going to have a tough time.
I think
like the sniper is still there.
Is she going to be able to go toe-to-toe with an OD? That's very difficult. Witch Doctor, okay. All right, so it is going to be a core Mirana for sure. Could even go carry Naga Siren, but I'm not so sure about that. They could do. I mean,
Mushi Naga, definitely a possibility. Whether it's going to be any good, though, that is another question. You've already got the OD that can kind of pummel through the illusions. I think I would be surprised if Mineski did run it in a core position. And I think, if anything, at the moment, it's still more likely to be there, the Mirana in the mid lane, and Mushi to play something else on the side lanes. But a lot of Mushi's heroes, so these big illusion-based ones like the Terrorblade as such, that's suddenly a lot harder to play in a game like this with the opening three heroes.
Yeah, you don't want to play illusion-based against an OD. For those of you wondering why, because OD shreds illusions, that's why.
Yep.
For any nubs out there.
The Newbee still looking for secondary support. And, of course, that Mugi carry hero. One of the big carries that both teams do like, the Phantom Lancer. Still there at the moment. Could be a possibility for Newbee. They're going to secure the Kaka Spirit.
Been a really, I think, phenomenal in the games we've seen so far. There have been some really amazing Spirit performances.
Kaka's definitely one to keep the level of play very high on it. And again, it's another hero like the sort of like the type that can play from the outside of the Naga Siren sleep. Suddenly those sleep TPs, if you're not catching the Spirit, they're not going to be as easy, because a rock's going to come flying in from the sidelines, hold you down in place. And also very good disable against the Witch Doctor. Makes Witch Doctor's life pretty hard if you're able to get on top of him.
Boot a rock at him. Yep. That'll shut him up.
Mineski. The plan here from these guys.
I think this is tough for Mineski so far.
I mean, depending on how they want to lane, the Razor is still there. They could look to just try and get that Razor versus Tide lane that a lot of teams do look to try and find when the Tide is picked up. If they, well, they are still looking for the offlaner. They could obviously go for the Abaddon answer to the Tide, have the Borrowed Time, Aphotic Shield combo to sort of get people out of there.
Now, why is it that people say Abaddon is a something that counters Tide?
So with Borrowed Time, right, you can use it when you're stunned. So if the Tide gets a 5-man Ravage, bam, you Borrowed Time yourself, bam, you Aphotic Shield your carry. Straight away, 2 heroes saved from the Ravage.
Is that enough?
It's pretty good. Oh.
Magnus.
That is
an interesting pick.
For sure.
I don't know about this one. This
more
is
team fight as well. But I mean,
I'm happy. I love seeing the Magnus. I like the Mineski. I mean, I said, to be fair, I did say at the start, I want to see something different from Mineski, something that Newbee might not have expected.
And this is
I don't know if Newbee would have expected a Magnus and a Mirana in this game to come up against them. So they're taking a different approach to the game, which I think, when you're going against Newbee, a team that undoubtedly is one of the best teams in the world at the moment, you do have to try something that other people haven't attempted.
Don't you feel like it's banking on Newbee to be out of position a little
bit too much? I don't think it's easy. I think, you know, this is obviously sort of going to be the setup for some big melee core, like Newbee realized they take away the PL that Mineski are very comfortable with. You've now got to look towards your other melee cores that are left in. I mean, heroes like, I mean, Jug still
I mean, the thing is,
one of the strongest
like
Magnus
Tide
pairings.
Hunters and Earth Spirit are likely to be there or thereabouts for a good RP. And also, Bane, when he grips someone, he's going to be standing still.
No.
OD has to get in there and right-click people.
No, I would like to. I want to see him pick the Void. They've got the Magnus for the
They're
damage.
not going to pick Void.
They banned the Venge, who's going to swap people out of Chrono.
You know what? I think you're actually
They've
right.
got the song
You've
set
got
up
the
they
Witch
need.
Doctor as well. So you could.
With the Chrono, they've got Mirana throwing in damage from the side.
I think we're looking at a bloody Void.
I mean, I don't.
I think we're looking at a bloody Void pick, Owen. It is.
Oh,
it's Troll.
it's
Right,
Troll.
well, almost.
Okay. So there's the melee hero that the Mag's going to be able to buff up and
Or ranged hero.
farm a lot.
Can be ranged.
Sure, but you're getting it here because of the Troll Mag.
So empowered Troll, very scary. And, and you know what they were lacking as well was someone who could just go and just demolish buildings, and now they've got him.
And this is good because...
And that's also, you know what, that is something Newbee are actually lacking, is a real good building hitter. Like, they don't actually have anyone yet. Whereas they've got Troll, and I think that's good. Mirana as well, her attack speed is good. They've got now a Roshable team with the Troll as well, so I actually think that the Troll has rounded this draft out quite nicely.
Yeah.
But we'll see what Newbee respond with.
Well, so
remember, they could always
left.
push this to like a carry OD and run something else.
You've got with the Ursa, the Gyro.
Well, it will be a
the
Moogie
Slark.
Slark. Ooh, a lot of firsts this game.
Have not seen that in a while.
That is a confidence pick, I feel. I mean, obviously the Dart Pack can be nice to sort of work around the Troll. It's a very hard hero for the Troll to man fight into.
Owen, you said earlier that you thought Mineski was going to win. What is going to be their most important factor this game to take this?
I think for me, it's really about the BKB timings for the Troll. They can afford to sort of hurry it up in their build. They're probably still going to go for the SMY and search first, but they have the damage from the Magnus, and it's all about hitting those RPs. But the more I think about it, the more I like that Slark here. They have Miranas, Witch Doctors. These are heroes that Newbee are going to be able to bully, and potentially Moogie's just going to be able to feed off these weaker supports.
Ted, what's the most important thing for Newbee then?
Just execute.
Just
execute. They have good lanes, they have good heroes. I think they've really solidified the off lane with the Tide. They've got Bane to help secure the mid. You've got OD, you've got Slark. I think you've got Earth Spirit as well. So I think the draft is really well-rounded and makes sense. And I think just go and do your jobs.
All right, just go and do your jobs. So that goes as well for our commentator team. So do your jobs, Lyrical and Fogged.
My goodness, I feel a little bit afraid right now.
Pressure's on right now. Pressure's definitely on.
Absolutely. Well, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to your grand finals. Thank you so much. Wonderful panel. That was great. You got to love the panel that we had there. But Fogged, I want to get right into this because as soon as that Slark pick came out, you pointed at the Slark and then you pointed at two heroes. Tell me what you were trying to say.
I was just pointing at Slark versus Magnus and Slark versus Mirana. You pounce these two heroes. You can't skewer. You can't leap. You're going to be stuck inside of that. I'm pretty sure that's what they were looking at here. And I think they see the mag and they're like, Bane, of course, can zone a bit, but Bane and Earth Spirit, these guys want to be moving around the map more, and this is where Slark can take advantage of pressuring that Magnus. Gets a pounce on, guys can rotate in, they can easily get the kills on that Magnus. Did you say grand finals?
No, I said upper bracket finals.
Upper bracket.
I might have said grand finals. I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, as well as KP getting a little bit ahead of himself, as it looks like First Blood is going to be coming out. Ice picks it up on the mag.
Yeah, that 5-man smoke seems to be working out a lot actually in this tournament. I think this is like the third time I've seen or fourth time I've seen teams actually go for that First Blood to get themselves off at a good head start in the game. Okay.
Well, they're going to be able to go over there and secure the rune as well. Love
I
to see that from Mineski.
You know what's cool too? I haven't seen the double attribute stealers in a while. They've got Slark and OD to steal people's attributes. Stealing the agility, steal that intelligence. That could be pretty fun.
Yeah, definitely, and obviously both on the same team as well. Just no stats for Mineski guys anymore. So I kind of want to talk a little bit about this. The panel was touching on the odd picks that we had. We have the Magnus that's coming out, as well as the Mirana. These heroes not often seen. Anything that you really want to say about them early on?
Not often seen, but Mineski does play these heroes. Ice Magnus, he's played it a bunch in the past, a bunch recently. Moon on the Mirana, it was one of his like super comfort heroes. We were seeing him playing pretty much, I think it was at Bucharest. He was playing Mirana and Puck, and that was pretty much it. He played those heroes like in every single game.
Yeah,
well, they actually get the root, and with the mag coming in with the skewer,
not often
trying
seen.
to punish him, but this is a Bane who just scurries away.
Yeah, and that does mean that it's a completely free lane down there for the moment, at least for the Slark. I guess roaming Magnus this early on, or it's just ice things, I guess.
That's gonna cost them a lot, though. That's gonna be a full free farm Slark in the bottom lane. So other things we can talk about is Wow, that actually was the most ideal timing for a Kraken shell. Just instantly removes the net.
Yeah.
The other things we can talk about is the Troll versus OD. We saw that one in the past. The evasion, of course, versus OD is very nice because you don't really build MKB on the hero. You just need to wait until the BKB timer does come out for SCCC to get for those man fightings versus the Troll.
And then, of course, the Bane just sitting mid and continuing to enfeeble Moon, who's still been able to get a decent amount of last hits. Just the problem is it's the 4 denies from OD that he's going to struggle with as Bane comes over there and gets a little farm for himself. But yeah, I'm really excited to watch the way that these big team fights work out. The one thing that I will say about Mineski's lineup is that it does feel a lot of it's predicated upon either like an Arrow or a big Magnus play, whereas on the side of Newbee, you can start things up with the Earth Spirit a little bit, get things going, and then come in afterwards with the Ravage.
Newbee definitely has easier execution coming out. Like ease of execution is something we talk a lot about in Dota. You look at Mineski's, they have to have like a really ideal, like you said, the RP has to be pretty much on point for them to take those head-on engagements. And there is going to always be that tide for that counter initiation for Newbee, so it is going to be tough for them to take those head-on engagements for Newbee if they are not at a big advantage. And it does look like the Slark is going to have a very solid game as we see him absolutely free farming.
Well, and, you know, Moogie is somebody that gets a lot of flack sometimes for his play, but he is his best hero, I think, is his Slark, at least from what I've seen. And I'm excited to watch him do that here. SCCC able to pick up a DD early on and continue to bully away onto Moon, who's taking a nice little clip of damage there.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up about the Slark. I like Moogie's Slark, and I really like Moogie's Ursa. Those are actually my two favorite, seeing him play. Oh. And the Bloodseeker when it was relevant, but no longer relevant.
Not around all that often, for sure. Mid lane, continuing to just have the 2v1 as Faith wants to get these other stacks going around there for, I'm guessing, the Tidehunter?
Yeah, definitely for the Tide. They know that KP's struggling a bit in that top lane because it's like, for the most part, a tri lane. They're kind of just rotating. Every time the Tide goes up, they bring the 3 heroes again.
Yeah. And is Magnus not getting off to a great start a problem at all? Because they are kind of just leaving Ice alone down here to deal with Moogie.
That's going to happen, right? It's the nature of you're picking Mag offlane. It's not one of the stronger ones.
Yeah.
That's just the Mineski playstyle. I've seen them do this a bunch in the past where he gets like the Dominator build up on the Mag.
Maledict, KP taking a lot of damage here, not able to take that one off of himself, and another hit. Faith is going to come in though, and that's a pull of the creep waves, which is going to give that Tidehunter a little bit of a better time.
Yeah, we've seen him do that actually so many times now, especially in their last series.
Right.
Can't lane versus the Razor as Tide in that series, so he just pulls the wave. Same kind of instance here.
Nice, trying to bully back Kaka.
He really wants the bounty rune.
Able to come over, the skewer away, takes it away. A nice little play. Kaka is probably going to be able to get the roll off to this one if they want to.
He's going to take it and then roll away, I guess.
Yeah. Ice still trying to chase, but there is nothing really to be done there. Another thing to watch, of course, is the arrows, if anybody happens to get astraled in a bad positioning. But Moon using that mainly for farming at this point in time in the game at least. And only 1-0 start. There's been a lot of rotations, but not a lot of chance for kills with these big tanky cores.
Yeah. Having a Slark, being able to get away with the Slark is probably one of the most important things to point out in this game so far, because the reason this hero has fallen off so hard is because if you pick him at any point early on, the enemy team just like aggro tri-lanes you, and you are the most useless hero in Dota pretty much. Your stat gain is very, very bad. You need a lot of items to actually be a real relevant hero. But this game, I mean, if he gets an early Shadow Blade, he can start picking off these heroes quite easily, even killing some of the cores. He can kill the Mirana very easy, the Mag if he has an advantage, and obviously the Witch Doctor.
Ninja Boogie, they're pulling him back in. Another Nightmare there, but they've already got the Maledict, and now the extra little bit of damage. KP being ran down. He's starting to get that walkaway and holding on to the salve. Will be fine. But again, showing the strength and why they're keeping Faith up here.
Faith's positioning already. The movement, the small little movements on the map have been really key for this, but already a 1K advantage coming out from Mineski in gold.
Yeah, like you were talking about, that Slark, and then also being able to get away with KP being up here. Other thing to watch down bottom, it looks like it is a roll away. They tried to get away with the Magnus, but you're talking about that leash, can't skewer.
Pounce, very good ability this game versus these more elusive cores.
Now, it looks like they're also going to be able to take away that bounty rune maybe, depending upon their positioning, but Mushi forcing them back. And Moogie going to farm up the camps. I mean, do they have to do something to address this Moogie Slark? He's already level 6, right?
I think it's right now it's too late. They gave him full free farm. If anything, the way to deal with it is like what I was saying. You go like dual lane or aggro tri lane to way to shut down that Slark so he doesn't get online. But yeah, he's gotten away with it already. 40 and 15 last hits. Having a great time.
Watching for that Shadow Blade later on, potentially. It is Kaka Invis in the mid lane. Looking to maybe do something here. It's really tough to actually find a kill, although if Moon plays this a little bit too close.
They don't know he's the Invis. Now they do. They see him with the Sentry. Kaka.
Net.
The arrow.
Follow the stun. They're not able to dodge away from that one, but there's the Astral to try and turn this. Jabs is walking away, but they keep him alive.
The beauty of playing OD. That's why this hero's growing more and more popular, especially from Newbee. They've really loved this hero. SCCC loves to play it, but having that save versus the single target hero of Mirana is super crucial. And we see a full efficiency shrine coming out by Newbee. They 3-man shrine with the Tidehunter.
Yep.
And now they can make moves around the map again with Kaka.
All of Mineski is actually up there in the top lane right now, as it looks like there's nothing really happening from Newbee. The rotation in and Faith is just going to get punished.
Yep.
It happens so quickly. Moogie going to be going for that Shadow Blade eventually. You know, that was the other thing that you were sort of mentioning before, that this patch just came out. It's a little bit of a small one, but OD was basically not touched at all, where a lot of the other heroes were kind of nerfed.
He was only touched, I guess you could say, in the Hurricane Pike nerf, right?
Yeah.
So that minus 5 seconds on the cooldown, now it matches the same as Force Staff, rather than having an 18-second cooldown. And now has that 23-second longer one.
Yeah.
But you see Ice, he has pulled ahead of the OD, so he's actually getting a good chunk of farm just using Shockwave down bottom.
Yeah, I guess that's the benefit here. Moogie, though, coming in. Ice, nowhere left to go. He is going to fall. So another kill, and Moogie maybe going to put himself in a position to, well, he pops ulti for that one.
Tower switched on him. They definitely had a little bit of a scare factor coming in.
Yep, rotation in, mid, SC, they are bringing in that Tidehunter, and as soon as that TP starts, they've got to back out. Oh, he's on level 6. No Ravage. They find the arrow. They're going to try and deal some damage to him here. SC trying to run away. They've got the stun, though, and that's going to be a kill onto the OD.
KP had to line up to block that arrow. It was very crucial for him to do that in order to save SCCC.
And now
KP
might be punished, too. The jump forward. Leap charge is working.
Oh, man.
Mineski.
Nice rotation by Mineski. Some pretty big mistake coming out by Newbee there.
And Mineski, a team that's really shown up to play today.
Yeah.
Putting on a great performance earlier. RP going to connect now onto the Earth Spirit. Kaka looks to be falling here. And, well, Moogie deciding to go in further with no RP available. Not a whole heck of a lot of damage as well. Just going to push back Ice.
Ice is happy with that one. Getting a free kill.
Yeah.
First RP usage.
I'm just looking at this looming threat, though, of this Slark, 4,800 net worth.
He is quite farmed. They are shutting down SCCC, though, and the Tidehunter is not getting a huge amount. However, they did have that contingency plan. They do have the Ancient stacks that we saw Faith doing on that left side.
Definitely.
So KP will be able to catch back up. SCCC, though, definitely being a bit limited. 1,100 gold behind that Mirana in the mid lane.
So the panel was touching on keys to the game, big things to watch out for you. What do you feel is the sort of developing storyline, the thing that is going to define how this game works out here?
Level 6s, the big ultis. I think when Newbee has the level 6 on Tidehunter, when they have the Earth Spirit level 6-2 and the Fiend's Grip, that's when they can start actually making these aggressive moves on top of that Shadow Blade with the Slark. Shadow Blade Slark's going to go scout for them, and then they can pick and choose where they want to take those big fights.
Yeah. It looks like right now Mineski is grouping up here behind the Tier 1 tower as the rotation is coming. There's another TP in from the Bane, so he might be able to help to turn this if they spot them out in time, but the net is going to go onto the Bane instead. Arrow is actually slept or missed. Couldn't quite see which one it was. KP might still die there. Moogie trying to pounce forward. Nobody's hitting spells. KP does die. Very odd. I guess that works out in the end for Mineski. They got the kill.
Yeah. That was a nice sleep there by Faith. Faith slept himself and the arrow went right through him, so he did disjoint it with that timing. But yeah, the Maledict really punishing KP. Since you cannot dispel that one. You see Ninja Boom prioritizing, maxing it.
Yeah, that's one of those that's been more and more popular as the heroes get tankier.
Yep. And look at this. They're actually pressuring this mid tower with the rotation of Ice, who's level 8 on the Magnus.
All right, this guy is a player.
He's empowering the catapult. Just a little bit of bonus damage, very important.
Oh, that's awesome.
Every little thing matters. And he's setting up. It looks like he wants to go for some type of dive here. He has RP available.
Well, there's one of the shock waves. They're waiting for it. KP, of course, at that level 6 right now. And The catapult is eventually going to go down, but they have the DD rune. There's the jump for the RP onto 2. Moon wants to make this happen. The arrow isn't there, and the Ravage to turn it. Now Kaka can find the follow-up stun. They destroy the Marana, and probably going to destroy Ice. Paying for his insolence there. They almost got SC, but not quite.
The arrow was off the mark, but it did seem like the Ravage was going to be enough to help them out anyway. A little bit of an overextension there by Mineski, but they do claim themselves the mid tower at least. But losing 2 cores, quite costly. It is that catches up both KP and STRC quite a decent amount for Newbee. And Mugi will have Shadowblade finished up very soon.
Yeah, as far as like priorities of where you want to go with that first, is it picking on supports, or you thinking you try and head over towards maybe like the Marana or something?
Pick a support and get a tower.
Okay.
If he can get the Marana, that'll be of course the dream. If he can like find him in the jungle somewhere farming, but getting like a kill into a tower is the big goal. Bottom, quick kill. Kaka coming in with the plays.
Yeah, and that's what they need to do. And make those little plays with the Earth Spirit throughout the map and all over the place. As Tidehunter, level 7, has the Tranquil Boots on Tide. Not one that we see all that often, but it's kind of cool this game. Lets him farm, I guess, a little bit more in the jungle.
Maybe he just felt he was really poor. He just needed any little type of thing for himself.
Yeah. All right, well, Mugi, you spoke about picking on a support. He does have the Shadowblade coming out to him right now.
Yeah.
As Faith is there, almost level 6 as well.
Mm-hmm. The really nice thing about playing with Slark is always that dewarding aspect, which can put a big factor. So it looks like Newbee does want to take over the enemy jungle a bit, get that tier 1 top as well. Since they already lost their tier 1 mid, they want to play away from their jungle.
Well, they're going to place down one of the wards. Ninja Boogie maybe anticipating that rotation was coming in. So they do get down a sentry, and with that, Mugi cuts the creep wave, going to try and get that tower while Mineski trade.
That is a bit of another, you know, you're playing versus Slark. It's been a while, but you have to spend a lot of money on sentries just to make sure that you're not getting picked off like that. So we are going to see the supports be hindered quite a bit by that on the side of Mineski. How's our Troll Warlord been doing? He's been farming pretty nice. Mushi's been left kind of quietly for all this, so he is going to be going for that stat build as we expected to see. Since he has the Troll, or since he has the Magnus, you want to go for like S and Y, any type of stat items to make that Empower even stronger. And Ice is 200 gold from Blink Dagger. It's going to be a very good timing for him as well.
This guy's doing it.
Yeah.
And, you know, if this ends up coming out right now, do you look to try and take a fight with the Blink Dagger at this point, or can you hold off? Do you need to push the tempo at all, or you feel like they're comfortable?
They're probably still pretty comfortable. They can defend tier 1s with the Blink Dagger, of course, but they don't want to be forcing too much into a Ravage because you can get turned on quite heavily. I'm very happy he didn't go the Dominator, though, and he went the Blink this game. Oh, KP?
Witch Doctor ulti comes through. KP's gone. Now the RP connects onto SC. They do get the Nightmare, try to make sure that the KP is going to be able to get off his Ravage at a good timing, and, well, the sleep to try and turn it. KP was able to live through that. And now maybe a turnaround. Arrow connects onto SC, but the Ravage comes out. It connects onto 3. The follow-up isn't enough damage. They managed to find the Sanities. Kaka as well. They make it happen. And Mineski fallen. Oh, Ice, the last one left alive, but Newbee played it beautifully.
Did you... So I actually think I want to watch that back in slow motion because I couldn't see it on the whole screen, but it looked like Faith. So Faith got the sleep onto KP, and I think he may have dodged one of the ticks of the Maledict. If not, it was the hood that blocked it. It could have been either because I know KP has a hood. So I think that might have been what was enough to block all the damage instances. And yeah, him living there and getting that Ravage off with the follow-up from Kaka, they get some big kills onto Mugi. But however, SCCC did die, but they do claim a tower too. So nice play there coming out from Newbee.
Wow. Really impressive stuff. A kick away is going to keep Kaka alive. But just like that, Newbee pulling it back, and now it's just a slight lead into their favor. 8-7 so far at 15 minutes.
Yeah, it's a very, very close game. However, now that's 2 towers for both sides. So bottom, Mineski did get that bottom tower. Top and mid were taken by Newbee. So similar, you know, mirror kind of matchup.
So who are the death finds right now? If Slark finds somebody in the jungle, who can he kill and they can't... Oh, I have to hold that thought. Maybe looking for the arrow, waiting for Faith to go down to the low ground. The silence from the Earth Spirit, and they're not going to chase it.
Depends on HP pools. For the most part, it's probably just the Witch Doctor at the moment. I think Naga has the illusion skilled up, so he's a little bit harder to kill. He's tankier as well. Yeah. So Witch Doctor is probably the main one. Now he has Echo Saber. Now it's becoming a little bit more. Now he can maybe get that Naga Siren, or if the Marana is a little bit low on health.
And Well, it looks like he's actually just content also to farm out the jungle, but Fiend Script comes out and Ninja Boogie.
Moogie just bails.
See you later, man. Faith might be able to walk away from this one as well. They pull him back in. A nice play there by Ice, and Faith now being body blocked. They drop the ulti for it, and they pick up a Bane kill.
Force that reaction.
Yeah. Jabs in the meantime content to just keep this lane pushed out along the bottom side. That's a nice little bit that the Naga Siren can do. As Newbee, they're going to move in. They realize that there's wards in the area. Mugi's going to take them out and continuing to restrict that vision.
Yeah, always the beauty of Slark.
Oh, he has a DD as well up there on the high ground. He's found Ninja Boogie. That's going to be a quick kill. And now the silence is well able to jump away.
The raindrop blocking the damage from the Earth Spirit spells, allowing Ice to blink. That could have been his death. And that wasn't Mirana Old Forest. Kaka gets arrowed.
Oh,
he's okay, though.
Looking for anything else there, it looks like. So they're going to back out. Mineski not really feeling comfortable fighting yet. They want to try and wait until everybody's here at the very least.
They have the threat of the Ravage.
The strength of that Tidehunter. Such a hard hero to deal with when he just parks himself in your lane and says, come fight me.
Yeah. Claiming themselves as many towers as they can while their cooldowns are up. But bottom lane, a tier 2 was taken by Mineski.
So tier 2's mid there as well. Maybe Newbee could think about going bottom if they want to. When is it that they start to think about a Roshan attempt? Is it in the near future at all or no?
For which team?
For Newbee.
Their Rosh hitting is not the greatest. Yeah. They have only the Gush for the minus armor, so I would think they don't want to fight in that area. Playing versus Mag as well, that's how you get them like in the game. You get by some big RP in the pits. Pretty devastating.
Speaking of big RPs, they scan up on the high ground. Mineski
can definitely get a Rosh, though. If they get a pick off, they can quickly go into one with that Empower as well as with the Riptide from the Naga.
Oh, Mushi, he wants to make something happen. Are they just going to go right in?
Let's see.
Oh, this is so bold.
They've got the sleep, too, so they can disengage, or they can just like, solidify the fact that they'll get it. It looks like they should be able to get this one uncontested.
Kaka pings it out. They've got an idea. They know that this is going on, it looks like.
Yeah, they know.
Mugi moving in. There's the roll in. Connects onto 2. Magnetize onto 3. But the sleep comes out, as you said. And Mineski looking to back out. Can they really go for any more? Yeah, I think that they just need to retreat. Rosh is down to half HP.
Another D ward coming out. All of the vision of Mineski getting quickly restricted. Second time in this tournament that we've seen Newbee get that scan come out. They always seem to know when teams go for that Rosh play.
Oh, now a smoke, and I don't think Newbee has, or rather Mineski has a ward on the map. And Ice. Gonna be found, try to roll. He actually ends up skewering him back. RP used, but the chase is there and they got him caught. Ice is gonna die with RP used.
That's a big pick, and now Rosh is at half health, so that is the option that Newbee could go for since it is a bit lower. It does look like they pinged it out. Looks like they want to try to go for it here.
Yeah, and maybe feinting that they're trying to do something in the top lane. You can see right there as well that the Bane is pushing forward. They might not realize that Rosh is going down. As they've caught themselves one. Jabs, the turnaround, the Witch Doctor ulti. It's doing a lot of damage. Jabs starting to fall. They're trying to turn it now into Faith. Got a ton of heals out of there and, well, still running. Ninja Boogie in trouble, but does get away with no disables.
Ninja Boogie's putting in work with this Witch Doctor, and they don't get the Rosh either. And Moon at the bottom lane with the Mirana. He's hitting the tier 3. He's getting some good damage on it already here.
Yeah, they're going to have to bring back Mugi, and well, it's just going to be a TP away from Moon.
So Aghanims on the Mirana. He's going to go for the spell damage build, it looks like.
What do you think about this build? It's really fallen out of favor recently as far as what we've seen people take.
Last time I saw it done, it was versus a sniper, and I actually really liked it. This one, I don't know. I feel like he could... We'll see how it plays out. I mean, I guess he just wants to have that burst versus the Slark, and he just wants to be that spell damager because they have the troll already. Maybe he doesn't feel like he is going to be that like right-clicking hero versus the Tidehunter. We'll see if it plays out. It doesn't look like it's the greatest game for it this time around.
Mugi just standing on their hill, and Newbee again, the ones that are capable of bullying back Mineski right now.
Yeah.
Having that Tidehunter, it's such a threat.
Yeah. That's the Tide is the reason why I was saying it's like I don't really like the magic build so much because he's already got a pipe finished up, so it does limit a lot of the damage that comes out from that Mirana. But here they go. They're trying for that Rosh again. They know that the RP is down. They still have Ravage.
And OD realizing right there that there's some wards in the area. He's going to back out before he gets found by anybody from Mineski. And Mineski, with no way to really contest, they're just going to have to go out and farm around the rest of the map. Whoa, is there an item that they can get to that starts to make them feel more confident in fighting Newbee, or is it just going to be this way for foreseeable future.
BKB on Troll. That's probably one of the bigger ones. But now that there's an Aegis, it makes it a lot more different because now you see the RP come out, you have an Aegis. If it doesn't hit the right targets, you can actually just lose you can lose in a very quick manner if you don't play the split push game until that Aegis is down. You don't want to really pick a fight into Newbee right now.
And of course, the split push game, very scary to do against Slark, who's moving down here bottom. And, well, eyes on the prize. He is going to almost rolling into that Troll. Looks like Troll is...
Ooh, they spotted Mushi for a split second there, but did get the TP out.
Well done. And Ice is pushing through the bottom lane as well to try and create whatever space he can as Newbee keeps on looking for the pickoffs. And I guess that is one really nice part about the Mineski lineup. They've got some heroes that are great at wave clearing.
Yeah, they have like the Naga who can invisibly wave clear. They've got the Shockwave, and then Troll who's a bit safer. But yeah, they need to probably just keep stalling it out till that Aegis goes down. Taking a head-on fight is a little risky here, but they do have the BKB, and they look like maybe they want to catch someone out of position. Their lanes are in good spots. The scan
available
again by Newbee. Is it going to clip anybody? Looks like they're going to go for bottom for the Slark.
Oh, he just used Dark Pack. Can they get into range quickly enough? They want to go for this guy. RP, it connects. It's a lot of damage. Is it enough? The damage, it is going to burst through the Aegis. They need to find it a second time. Arrow goes down. Perfectly timed by Moon, and nothing that Newbee can do.
Damn, that's a ballsy play coming out from Mineski. Just when you have an Aegis already and they just beeline it for that type of kill, that is very unexpected. Newbee did not see that coming at all.
And that's what you got to do in this. Throw the wrench in the works, and now...
Be the risk takers.
You look down here at the bottom lane, they're hitting the tower rather rapidly. TP situation on the others, it looks like they're going to have to walk back with some of these heroes as not everybody's there, and they take a tier 3 tower? Are you kidding me right now?
They're going to back up now. I mean, this is
what happened.
It is the fear of Troll Warlord. I mean, that's a very heads-up play. The decision-making coming out from Mineski there, that's something that nobody would expect.
That was so impressive.
Yep.
Well, now 10-10, but a tier 3 tower down. They can start taking down shrines, building back a little bit of a lead into this game for Mineski when it just felt like Newbee were able to bully him so much before.
Yeah.
So 23 minutes into this one, we've seen a couple of big team fights, but it's mainly just been about player positioning and sort of decision-making around the map that's led to the situation we're currently in.
Yeah, the decision-making there was, I mean, that's just incredibly impressive. And the arrow timing as well from Moon was on point. Now they've got Midas on Mag. They're starting to get some items that can crawl them back in. 2K advantage going their way. And Newbee not looking to get too aggressive just now. Waiting for some other items to get picked up.
Yeah. Was that picked up by the Troll Warlord?
Blink Dagger.
Ooh.
He wants to close the gap onto that OD.
That's real good. So, taking a look now, BKB there for the Troll Warlord. We've got ourselves Ninja Boogie in a position up top to potentially fight against these heroes. I mean, is it pickoff time that you're looking for again for Mineski?
I mean, they just killed an Aegis like that. That's actually just so impressive. And now they've got time to slow down the pace and farm. I mean, they've got an empowered Troll Warlord. They seem to be pretty happy with it, with the farming. They've got their RP now online too. Maybe now they just go for fight again. They've got BKB online.
All right, and Jabs, he's got a sleep available if you want to make it happen, but
scouted them
taking
out.
These Aegis, or Ancients.
So they're probably the best thing that Mineski can do is do what they did that last time. Split push the map up, force Newbee to go push one of the lanes, and then catch them out like that.
Okay.
Newbee, though, now sticking a bit more together. Not wanting to get picked off by that Mineski smoke.
Well, I guess it's sort of a similar situation for Mineski. Everybody's in the same general facility.
Yeah.
As Solar Crest picked up for the Tide Hunter. And everybody just holding hands together in the jungle.
Don't let that happen again, pretty much.
Yeah.
They know there's a ward on the high ground now. Moogie's pinging it out. His ulti was not on.
And mid lane, maybe an opportunity there. You're going to deal some damage to Kaka and then back out again. Is it pretty much that you're waiting for the Aegis as well on Newbee? Do they feel the need for that before they can make anything really happen?
Yeah, I mean, they just had it and they got it. They instantly lost it, so maybe not, right? It's a bit of a fear. They're looking to just take fights around their Tidehunter.
Yeah. Jabs again, spots out KP there. And they're just able to sort of walk away again as they hold on to these towers. And bottom lane, they're pushing things in continuously.
Bottom is exposed, so they do need to watch themselves. They need to start backing up, but Jabs is running in.
Yeah, this is the thing. They can cancel TPs with sleep as well if they want to push this in bottom lane. And they've caught themselves KP. They do force back a rotation from the Bane, so KP's left completely alone. He's got no healing here. He's going to end up dropping as they completely surround him, trying to TP away. And, well, there's the root and there's the kill.
Nice split push, nice splitting up a map again by Mineski, forcing reactions, taking fights away from that Tidehunter. Yeah. Or just picking off the Tide and, yeah, forcing everyone else to run away because then they can't use the Tide Ravage as they want to. And, yeah, melee Rax to take a little bit of damage. It will heal up.
Yeah, really, really well done. It's a blink Hurricane Pike on OD, but we just haven't seen SC get involved in that many of the fights over the past couple of minutes.
Yeah.
It just hasn't been able to take the ones that they wanted.
It's been a lot of dodge fights. That's really what it is. Yeah, Mineski dodged a lot during the Aegis. They killed it, and then...
Oh, and look at this.
They just keep playing away from that Tidehunter. 15 seconds. They're trying to take advantage of while KP's dead. Yeah. Newbee, a bit aware, though. They are backing up.
Again, good awareness there from SC. They back away, and Naga Illusions will be pushed out. Faith, Rune bottom, but they might be able to force people back. Mookie doesn't have a TP right now, so if a fight breaks out top, it'd be a little sketchy.
He's got a full eye of Scotty now. He is quite farmed.
He's falling behind Mushi, though, with that Empower.
Yeah.
How does that matchup play out in the later stages of this game, the Troll Warlord versus Slark?
It kind of goes both. They kind of work against each other, right? Because Troll, you can just man fight versus most heroes because of the bash, but Slark, you're not really just auto-attacking somebody like that. You're gaining more agi stacks, so you're getting more armor, but at the same time, too, you're removing that evasion with your Dark Pact constantly, and you're stealing stats, getting stronger and stronger. So it's like they both kind of play versus each other in a way.
It's more about the other heroes that you're dealing with there and whether you can keep them controlled.
Because in a pure 1v1, if there's no Shadow Dance available, I mean, you can get bash locked to death, sure, you could see that. But if there's like anything else that comes in, that's where Slark can get a bit of an advantage from that stat steal.
Well, again, the slow pace of this game.
I think BKB for SCCC is a really important pickup next. Even though it's like you look at their heroes and it's like, oh, they don't really have those like common abilities that you want to build a BKB versus, like some Sand-King stun, some Sand-King epicenter, like Ravage. They have him for RP, which goes through the BKB anyway. He still kind of needs it to take that head-on engagement and just be that frontliner so his Slark can kill the back lines. And
you see that Nagasiren here trying to go for that Aghanim Scepter so he can have that reset tool in the fight with all the extra regen it provides.
Yeah.
Mineski may be aware of this smoke. They're backed up together again on their high ground. And if they wanted to, they could go for one of their own.
This is looking like this game is going to be dictated just by these smokes. Yeah. Whoever gets like these big pick-off team fights.
Absolutely. The smoke about to wear off for Newbee as the scan is going to hit red on KP. Dire aware of where he's at. They're maybe looking to put themselves in a position to take a fight with them on their high ground. Magnus looking forward, has an RP available. He jumps for the skewer. It's not going to go out. Doesn't quite connect. Moonlight Shadow still keeping them safe for the moment as Mookie's going to walk around. But they have vision of him right now. He's inside of it. Mookie knows it too. But Ice just looking for this moment to jump on somebody, but they're putting the Tidehunter at the front, which makes it so hard to initiate.
Yeah. I'd really like KP to get that some type of mobility at him. We see now he's queued up the Force Staff. I think that's something really good because if your team does get caught in like an RP and they're getting skewered, you want to be able to catch up to your team and get that Ravage up on the other heroes of Mineski.
Yeah, and it's one of those things too where it happens so quickly with Troll Warlord, and you know all of the cleave damage from Empower can just be gone before you can get into range.
Yeah, they've got two BKBs already on Mineski on both the Marana as well as the Troll Warlord, so they are pretty resistant to that Tidehunter Ravage.
And you can just feel the tension right now as they're just squaring off against each other across the river. Sentries placed down.
Rosh is going to be the big important factor for this one. Aegis and Cheese versus these big heavy ultimates.
And they got a lot of minus armor now.
Yeah, with that Solar Crest.
Arrow goes in, connects, actually expires right as it was going into the pit. Gotta be careful, Ice. They throw another one, the sleep, it comes out. They can set this up here, but is it gonna be good enough? They might not be grouped enough together, and Mineski make the call to back out.
Troll Warlord's pushing bottom.
Oh, nicely done there. And that's gonna force the rest of Mineski. Maybe they can find somebody of Newbee as they head out. But Troll Warlord's going to back up as well. Looks like Slark is hunting, but they won't find him.
Both teams just kind of playing with each other a little bit, testing to see what reactions they do. Newbee goes into the pit, forces a reaction from Mineski. Mineski goes bottom.
Oh, skewer back. They've got the Tidehunter alone. The arrow goes out as well. It's trying to zone. They have a net to follow. Moon doesn't end up going. I think he already used the arrow.
Not the ideal target.
Yeah, exactly.
He can crack and remove all their disables and get a good
I literally feel like we're watching chess right now. Yeah. You know, it's like all of that strategy, pieces moving across the board. Kaka finds himself a ward.
You see like Ice is pushing top again. They're just keeping that split push going, both sides. You see SCCC was pushing bottom, trying to get their lanes out in better places so they can try to go for this Rosh. That's how important it is.
Oh, mid lane right now, though. There might be something happening as they get into position. They found themselves one. It's a magnetize onto 3, though, and Moogie able to find and kill off Ninja Boogie as they've got the grip from the low ground onto Jabs. He's trying to run away. Troll thinking about going back in. If they group together right now, there's a big chance for an RP. It's only onto 1, though. The Ravage to turn it. They find them. Is there any detection right here? It looks like KP's going to fall. They had more than enough damage with those BKBs. Oh. And they will get the kill. Double for Mushi.
The arrow, the Astral actually maybe getting Moogie killed. Looks like he was trying to run away, but SCCC got a big concern, tried to save his buddy there. And that's only a Witch Doctor kill. And they get themselves 2 cores. Those BKBs coming in clutch from Mushi, catching, not getting clipped by that Ravage.
Man.
Faith now.
Oh,
looks to be in trouble.
They found themselves another, and the net's going to be there. They've got everything. They've got him caught and killed off.
Jabs dropping items.
Feeling good about himself there.
Yeah, this Troll Warlord is really pulling quite far ahead to the point where it's going to be really hard for Slug to try to man-fight versus this guy.
Yeah, now they're moving in, trying to take down Roshan. OD is in the area, as well as Kaka. They want to try and find a chance for a pick here, but Jabs is in the area too, and they've got him netted. They've got him caught. The sleep is going to be there. Are they in position? Oh, they're going to skewer them together. The arrow comes out. It's beautifully timed. They got the OD caught, and Kaka trying to roll away. He is going to get out, but they get the Aegis.
Mineski on point with these sleep arrows, these like Astral arrows or Aegis respawn arrows. Every single time, Moon has been getting all of them. He is playing phenomenally on this Mirana. Now KP.
KP caught again. It just keeps on coming. They try and turn it a double stun. They're going to try and walk away in a second. It's a lot of damage mitigation with that Anchor Smash. The rest of Newbee is TPing in, but they're not in time. And now Mushi looking for blood. He's angry, trying to chase, but he is going to run into Moogie here. They're starting to bring down Faith, able to get the Brain Sap, the turnaround. Moogie does get the Shadow Dance off, and he does burn through that Aegis. It's a buyback from OD as Jabs, as well as Ninja Boogie, looking for a counter initiation play. They jump with the blink onto Kaka and take him down as well. Moogie caught for the moment. He can't go anywhere. He's starting to fall. He's going to go down. They got the Spirit Vessel onto him as well. The train is rolling over the faces of Newbee.
Oh my goodness. SCCC bought back there to try to save his teammates and to bail them out, but now it's cheese on Mushi, and they're looking to go high ground. They've got RP available.
No buybacks on most of these heroes. The only one that has it right now is Moogie.
They might just be able to claim themselves 2 sets of racks here.
Oh my goodness. You know, it goes back and forth, and then so quickly all this stuff happens. Troll hasn't even been able to spend his gold. He's got 4,200 in the bank on top of Scotty, Sanjin, Yasha, BKB, and Blink. So the Tidehunter back again. Jabs can potentially try and disrupt this one. Going to send in those illusions as well, as looks like Mineski going to back off for the moment, but Mushi thinking about turning this KP. He just got back into the game. They get the Astral off. That's only for the moment. They buy back on Moogie now, and there's the grip. This could be the turn that they're looking for. KP trying to zone them out. Pump fake in the Ravage, daring them to come forward as they have found and killed off Mushi.
Slark forced a buyback with very little time left on his respawn. They do save themselves that second set of racks, though, which is quite important, but 16k gold advantage for Mineski. That swing in the last few minutes must be quite a mountain.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, and this room has just become silent. Fans can't believe it as Mineski are taking a firm grip of this game.
Mineski's playing so well. Their decision-making, how they're playing around the Ravage, around Newbee's cooldowns, is actually so phenomenal right now.
I think a lot of people would have come into this day just expecting it to be an easy win for Newbee. Spot into the playoffs with Mineski showing their stuff. They are trying to maybe force a buyback or get some type of objective of their own as Newbee is pushing high ground, but now the sleep. They have a buyback. They've got an RP if they want to use it. The skewer back in. They get it on a 3. It's beautifully played. The Ravage to try and turn it, but BKBs are there. There's no answer in the world that's going to stop it from that. They are doing a lot with Mugi off to the side, and they managed to take down one with the Eclipse. They don't even force the buyback yet from Mushi. They are all fallen. They might actually be able to get this happening, though. Ice still alive. Tried to kill off that OD. He is going to end up living through that one as KP being ran down. Doesn't quite go down yet, though, as Mugi trying to make it happen. It looked beautiful. It wasn't great enough, though, I think.
They defended their base.
Yeah.
They didn't have to force a buyback either. I think that was the really important thing. They didn't have that empowered Troll Warlord hitting on them. Otherwise, everybody was dead there. But they're actually so good with the way that they're combining their skills, like we were mentioning before. The sleep into the arrow connects perfectly on SCCC there again. Skewer into RP, catches 3 afterwards.
Yeah, Newbee has constantly been known as the team of just team fighting, out-team fighting people, but it's looked like it's been Mineski this game.
Mineski, I think, is not only out-team fighting, but they're out-maneuvering and outplaying Newbee for sure this game.
Really impressive showing.
With unorthodox heroes, too, with the Mirana and the Mag, which we do not see too often, even with the Troll Warlord. It's these 3 heroes that Mineski likes to play that other people don't really look at too often.
Absolutely. Well, again, 4,400 gold in the bank for Mushi right now. This Troll Warlord around 7,000 gold ahead of the next highest.
Get up, Butterfly. I think that would be a pretty good choice for that Troll. He's got a lot of gold. It's very good versus both Slark and the OD because they're not going to have that MKB for a while. But I think maybe he can just go for that Satanic and just be that super tanky beast that he just never has to worry about dying, since he already has the Mask of Death anyway.
Yeah.
Maybe he sees the evasion on the Slark and goes for MKB. He's got options for sure because of how comfortable their lead is.
Right. Well, Mineski again trying to go for the jugular. They're going to wrap around and go through what looks to be maybe mid, or they could just keep pushing through top.
I actually forgot the Mushi specialty. Don't buy anything. Just bank up your gold. We used to see that a lot in the past. Your big Mushi has 8,000 gold.
What's he going to do? SC.
Triple C.
Ooh. That could have been dangerous.
Mineski's had, I mean, their smoke movement, it's been really on point this game.
Well, and again, jabs. We talked about the need to set up great big plays, and they're doing it. They skewer them back in. Again, is this the target they want? Maybe it doesn't matter. They can go on anybody that they please. Turn around there. Mushi able to live through that. I think it was a grip used. And they're going to back away. SC far forward. They get the Astral. Is this a fight they want to take, though? Mugi goes forward, and the stun is there on the Ninja Boogie. They're just backing out again, daring them to come forward. Arrow. Not going to connect.
Both teams afraid to fully commit versus those big ultis, the Ravage and the RP.
Now, the chess match will continue, but right now it's definitely Mineski. They're up a few pieces.
Yep.
So next couple of minutes, we've got these continued smoke plays that are coming, but we might start thinking about Rosh once that's finally respawned.
So big about the initiations right now.
Yeah.
Mugi. Will they be able to catch the Mirana here? They are stalking him.
Oh, they find themselves Moon. Silent stun to follow and no sleep. He does get a BKB off and actually just going to leap away. So BKB charge for his life. Moon. Well, they're just going to be able to walk away from him. Newbee can't get anything. This is just incredibly mobile heroes from Mineski and playing around each other beautifully.
Yeah. So it did look like the Troll did go for that Butterfly. I thought that was his best possible pickup. He did have some options, but very good versus both the OD and the Slark. Flutter's quite nice with this type of item build too. You phase Flutter, you're always like 550 movement speed running around.
You can blink afterwards.
Yeah.
Just go wherever you please.
Some nice stats too. You see his damage. He's plus 231
right.
with that Empower. Newbee now though. Getting a little bit on the aggressive stance here. Getting that bottom tower finally. At the 39-minute mark. Getting a tier 1.
It sort of speaks to what this game has been about. It's so much maneuvering around that Rosh pit.
Yeah.
During that timing. And, well, it's sort of, I mean, is this sort of speaking to a problem with Slark as a hero, or what do you think has been the main problem for Newbee this game?
I think just Mineski's been playing really well really well, like playing away from that Tidehunter. Force the side lanes in, force Newbee to make a mistake and catch them out.
A DD bottom, which they might decide to pick up. It was an Aghanim Scepter completed for Naga Siren.
Yeah, that's That's a lot of heals. It's like 70% healing for your team. It's pretty crazy how much it actually does.
Yeah. They have been tending to use the Naga Siren to set up for the RPs and such.
Yeah.
So.
But at least it'll like reset their health. Even if they're like a little bit low, you know, they can just heal up. What else is he going to buy, right?
Yeah. Fair enough.
He could maybe have like something like that, Solar Crest or something along those lines, but clearly that's not the objective that he wants to play around.
Another pull back in. They keep on catching this Tidehunter. Mugi is there, though, trying to find jabs.
He's got a DD on the Slark.
The silence doesn't come out in time, and now they have the sleep here. They've got themselves the Slark caught for the moment. Can they get any more, though? BKB pop. They're going to turn now on to Faith, trying to bring him down. The grip's not going to be enough as jabs. Running away. They don't have eyes on him. They're slowing down KP. Kaka's up on the cliff right here. And Newbee forced to come up with answers. The RP pump fake it, thinking about it. Ice showing off. Decides to get away from the whole mess of it as the chase is going to go there for Ninja Boogie. Arrow does not connect because of the BKB. And so they lose the Witch Doctor for BKB charges.
I'm like glad we get to see this like 2-week patch thing, because now we're going to see how the effect of all these things work out. This new BKB change could become quite relevant in a lot of these games, how it's always that 70-second cooldown now.
Right.
Rather than having that diminishing cooldown a bit. And this is going to be the third Rosh. I mean, this could be pretty huge for Newbee if they get it. If they can get themselves either a double OD ulti or double Ravage, if they can get away with this one, it could be quite nice. But Mineski, they are very aware.
Sending in illusions. Arrow's going to connect onto Rosh. And with that, Newbee can't really pressure for it. Now, we have sometimes seen Slarks get out of control if they, start to build up a little bit of a net worth lead. If they find a couple kills, what's the way that Newbee get back into this game?
Just like being able to survive the 5-second BKBs and then getting the Ravage off on multiple heroes on top of an OD ulti, because they don't really have any, they have like no int heroes on Mineski, so if the OD is able to stack up that int and the BKBs are down and a Ravage hits, that's going to be very crucial for Newbee. So Mineski still has to watch out for themselves here. This OD is nothing to mess with here. With the Shivas, with Hurricane Pike, with BKB now, he is quite online.
KP again in the river, a little bit away from his team. The rest of Mineski is up there on the high ground looking at him. And they are going to again pull him back in, trying to bring down KP. He doesn't want to blow that Ravage for nothing as Mushi chasing further forward. The Force Staff trying to take him down. A good Astral from SC. Off on the other side of the fight, Slark is trying to go to work. Able to take down Jazz. Almost, but no, they get the sleep off. And now it's going to be regen. Back up to full. If they want to go for this, they can. It's a sleep onto all of them. The RP on the 3, taking him down. Mugi does get off that Shadow Dance, though. He's able to walk away, but I don't know if it's going to matter. Look at Ninja Boogie over there. He's just dancing away. They skewer away Mugi. They've got him caught maybe for the moment, almost there, slowed down and almost killed off as Mushi is chasing, and Mugi not quite dying. He's just barely able to walk away. The Ravage to save a life, but that does not feel great.
Not the ideal Ravage at all. That's a buyback force from KP just to save his Slark.
And now what are you going to do? Mineski, they're in a position to go in and take Rosh with the Refresher.
Yeah. They've already still got a cheese, too, from all that from the last Roshan still. So now double RP can be available once it's off cooldown.
The quiet hero in all this, Ninja Boogie, keeps on getting those like full duration ultimates off.
Full duration ultis. The casks are bouncing between everybody too. 21k advantage now. And oh, look, a DD for Mushi. Time to go for the base.
Why not? 44 minutes in, 15 to 25.
Oh, look at this DD, or Daedalus as well, finished up on Moon. So he's going to be hitting quite hard as well.
I guess, even though he ended up going the Aghanims build, nothing's stopping you from transitioning into right-click later.
I'm glad, yeah, I did like that he switched, he shifted away from just being Maul Magic.
Yeah. Faith needs to get back home here as Mineski are not playing around and pushing for this high ground. DD Troll Warlord. KP able to get one. They skewer back Faith. Got him caught. Got him killed. Unstoppable for Moon. And the barracks are fallen. That's going to be a dead Bane for 66 seconds.
There's no Ravage online either.
Now that Mugi is going to need to do something special here, and maybe it starts with a catch on a Ninja Boogie. They do have vision of him there, and the stun onto one. Mugi thinking about going. They got that Witch Doctor caught for the moment, but the turnaround could come from Ice 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 if he manages to find a good skewer back onto several different heroes. But
wow,
my God, look at that damage on a KP. Didn't stand a chance. They RP cancel it there. And Ice Ice Ice.
SCCC used his BKB.
Wow. So next time that RP comes around, was that baited out? My goodness. Mushi dodges the stun, the sleep is there, and there's where they're pinging it. They know where they want to go. Ice just walking slowly forward. They got him caught. SC is dead. Newbee is gone, and GG is called.
They didn't even use the RP there at the end. He ended up using it on just like the one hero when everyone was dead, but whoa. Mineski, their decision making, those sleep arrow plays, absolutely on point. That was really impressive showing coming out for them. When it looked like Newbee, right after they got the Aegis, it looked like they were in a pretty comfortable spot. Beeline, kill that Slark, and then it just looked like to be Mineski's favorite game for quite a while.
And again, this is a team that people might not have been on the lookout for, and they've been doing well Southeast Asia. They've been doing well in tournaments, and well, they showed up to play. Thinking forward to game number 2, you know, you said that it was a combination of outplayed in team fights as well as outmaneuvered. What can you really change, or what can you think of going into game number 2 for Newbee?
I honestly just think that they just got caught off guard by Mineski. I think Mineski just made incredibly good rotations this game. KP had a bit of a rough one again this time around. Man, that was crazy. They played so well around that Tidehunter.
Yeah. Well, and it's one of those heroes that, like, you know, he defines the way that you try to play the game, the Tidehunter, and Mineski just had the answer. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we got the upper bracket finals finishing off right after this. Stick around. We're going to a quick commercial break, and then we're back for the panel for game number 2.
Thank you, Lyrical and Fogged. Indeed, Newbee, they fall here in the first game of the upper bracket finals for the StarLadder I-League Invitational Season 4. Mineski taking the win. Oh, and it's such a shame that you never said that Mineski was going to take this series, this game.
Yeah, you should have been more confident.
I should have been more confident. I should have been more confident. It was very impressive from Mineski, really. Not really much more to say than that.
Oh,
these players, they've turned up at this LAN. They did do what I wanted to see. As I said, they did do something a little bit different. I don't know if Newbee was necessarily expecting this sort of Magnus plus melee core combo that was incredibly strong, and as we saw, allowed Mushi to outfarm Mugi by quite a mile. There was just no way that this Slark was keeping up in any sort of shape or manner. And I think we sort of look, I mentioned at the end of the draft, oh, maybe for the Slark it's nice because there are these heroes like the Mirana, like the Witch Doctor, the Slark is pretty good against. But at the end of the day, it's the fact that Mineski had this Naga Siren and the way that Mineski were playing for the most part, just backing up their course, making sure that there wasn't any sort of gaps that this Slark could get in and abuse. It meant that it was impossible for Mugi to keep up in any sort of sense, whether it be finding kills, finding farm. Neither was going to be available, and then when it came to sort of team fights, they just proved to be impossible because Ice on his Magnus played absolutely impeccably. Yeah. This is one of the best Magnus performances I've personally seen in a while. We don't obviously see a lot of Magnus,
unfortunately.
But this was a really, really good Magnus game from Ice. The RPs were perfect. The hero fundamentally was great, as I say, because it allowed Mushi to be just a step ahead consistently with the farm. I really like what Mineski did. I'm excited to see what they get away with in game 2 because they are going to have to try something different yet again. Yeah. But yeah, Ice here. I mean, sure, a lot of it was down to Jabshino. There was some song setups that were setting up these angles, but Ice, he was always going to find them. These sort of skewers into RPs. Some of them were incredible in terms of the wombo combo. Didn't necessarily win the fight, but the ones that did win the fight were the ones that sort of just impressive on another level.
There were a lot of good skewers that he landed to set stuff up as well, a lot of catches. They did catch the Tide a few more times than I think they wanted to.
Sure.
They were sort of like, whoa, let's think about this. But I think the power of the Naga Siren pick, I mean, we've seen it used as a sort of saving pick. You know, you can sort of stay there, and if the fight's not going well, you can step in and say, well, hold on, lads, let's just back up a sec here. But they used it really well aggressively. I think they set up some fantastic arrows with the Mirana.
Yeah, perfect timing as well. I don't think we ever really saw them with that combo. No, Sometimes you see this song into an arrow or an RP, and the timing's just a little bit off. But their timing was perfect.
It needed to be. Against a Slark, it needed to be perfect. You had the save from OD as well. We kind of thought, you know, he can save people if they're going to get arrowed or netted, all the rest of it, but it just didn't happen. Yeah. And I think Slark, like you said, interesting pick. I don't think it was a bad pick. I don't think that was a problem at all. I honestly think Mineski just outplayed Newbee and kind of surprised them with how well they did. I mean, their movement around the map was really good. I loved the way they kept getting a pick off, like, for instance, there was a pick that they took where Slark had got the Rosh, and every reasonable person would have thought, oh, they don't want to fight now. But they just went all the way down and picked Mugi off, killed him twice, and then it's like, all right, well, now we can't fight. You know, Newbee were just stuck. It was really well played, Mineski.
It also sort of felt a little awkward as well, having the Slark with the OD, because there were a lot of sort of times where you sort of saw SCCC go for these saves on the Slark, but it didn't really work that well because it ended up just sort of being a setup for Mineski to come in with the arrow.
Yeah, there was some awkward
just get in position, get on top of the Slark.
Yeah.
It was more, I don't think that you couldn't really put that down to the players. It was just the heroes. It just didn't seem to work that well together, having an OD and a Slark on the same team. And sort of the team fight control, it just wasn't good enough. Sure, they have this Ravage and the Earth Spirit. There were situations where they were bringing heroes down pretty low, but they weren't getting away with the kills and getting themselves back out because the team fight from Mineski was too good. And I really think the Naga Siren, the approach that Mineski took, just taking it first up, it was great because we now know. I mean, the Mineski, we knew that they were good with the Naga, but now we know they're good with the Naga in a sense that they can do it against Team Newbee.
Yeah.
So where the Naga's going to come in the draft next, it's going to be the question. I wouldn't be surprised if we see maybe even Newbee ban it, and that's going to be an achievement. If you're forcing Newbee to ban their own Naga Siren, that hats off to Mineski.
I also think, you know, Mineski's discipline. I mean, we know Newbee are a disciplined team. There was a long period, Fog commented, I think Fog and Gate commented on in the cast, where they said they've been mid now for like a long time. There's been this standoff around the Rosh pit. Mineski didn't get fooled. They didn't slip up. They bided their time.
They waited. They're very patient.
And they didn't think, well, we can take a chance and we can just save ourselves with the Naga Siren. They just wait for the perfect moment, and they caught Newbee out on a couple of slip-ups. I thought it was a fantastic performance from Mineski. Really, really surprised me.
Before the game started, and after the draft, we mentioned like Magnus, okay, it's very tricky. You're going to rely maybe a little bit on Newbee having a bad positioning, even more so with the Naga Siren. They relied on that wombo combo, right? And it actually surprised me how often they were able to get a good setup like that.
Yeah.
Is that because the timing of the Naga Siren and just that being played out very well, or was Newbee still slightly out of position? Like, were they not on top of their game?
I think that was just Mineski playing well. I don't think you look at that game and say Newbee played bad.
No,
for me, it really was the picks. I think the Slark is always going to be risky. I know that Mugi evidently he loves to play it. Yeah. It is one of the heroes that you sort of strike him as being one of the strongest, but it's just a bad meta for Slark.
I'm not sure how well it works into 5, especially with the Naga Siren.
It's very hard.
I think it is a problem.
Yeah, and RP and the Song of the Siren are two things that are just a nightmare.
Also, he was up against a very mobile team. The Troll is very fast. Mirana's very mobile. I just feel like, I don't know, it didn't quite make sense to me.
And the itemization that I sort of talked about that I was looking forward to seeing Mushi go for, it was there. He gets this BKB, I think it was relatively early, around the 21-minute mark. And suddenly, that makes the job a lot harder for this Slark, this hero that his control, it is the pounce.
And for Tide as well. And for Tidehunter as well, the BKB.
Of course, the BKB at that stage was just causing a lot of issues for KP. And as we saw, as Ted said, they were trying to play how they should, presenting Tide at the front, being like, look, go on the Tide. But the thing is, when you're behind, it doesn't really matter that the Tide is at the front for the opponent because they will be able to kill the Tide. Yeah. As soon as KP got dragged in, he was having to panic force himself out. He couldn't stand there on the front lines, anchor smashing them, tanking up the damage because they were just too far ahead. This
also, they can't come in.
Ahead.
If they come in to save the Tide, or if he sets up a Ravage, you've still got that song. Like, that's the power of the Naga Siren is so big. That's why I kind of thought they'd go for BKBs much earlier and be able to fight through the song, but it just didn't happen.
Yeah, I think... Yeah, Naga Siren is the hero that we already knew was going to be something that both teams were looking at. But I think now, Newbee has sort of been woken up to the fact that we need to actually be really careful about giving it away.
We ban it, yeah, for sure.
So was there anything during the laning stage? Because we already mentioned, like, during the fighting stage, it was Mineski that was ahead, also in terms of itemization. They were just getting the better setups and everything. Could Newbee have done anything in the laning stage to just increase their odds?
I think they were fine. Yeah, they had the Slark.
Could he be more aggressive or something?
I mean,
was there anything that
I think Mugi had a dream lane. He was getting like perfect CS.
He just left to it. That's what you want. Like, you don't want to have to go and fight early. He got his Shadow Blade. He was like, all right, now we can start getting some stuff done. Got the Echo Saber and everything like that. But there was no point where, like, if you think about the game we had this morning, where they were able to pick off the Bane on Mineski and stuff. There was a lot of points where Kingwin were kind of roaming off and getting picked off. Mineski did none of that shit. They were disciplined the whole time. There was very little chance for the Slark to go and find those squishy supports that we were like, oh, he's going to feast on them. Never got the chance. So I think that because of their discipline and their ability to play as a team, their movement around the map was really good. Yeah. So even though Slark got that great laning phase, he couldn't do anything with it. Whereas Troll can go and take buildings, as we saw, take Rosh really fast, whereas Mineski could, Newbee could not. So I think the Troll pick was key as well to their draft.
Well, I believe we have a replay that you guys selected. We can take a look at the moment in the game. I believe it was around a 33-minute mark here. This is KP. He does not have a Ravage at the moment. It's on cooldown.
And this is what's so great about Mineski. They see any sort of opening, they play it aggressive. They know that this OD's down for a minute. And they know that they have the edge. They know that they can just run at Newbee, and it's going to force some sort of big reaction in the form of a buyback, because SCCC is just pressured into that position.
Just biding his time, just waiting for the big look.
He doesn't
Pretty
need
sure he gets a big RP. I thought he got a big RP. Here's the slowdown. Something big's about to happen, lads.
Oh, that is an Aegis down. There is no RP available, actually, at the moment.
So what are we watching here? Oh, yeah, the Witch Doctor. That's right. I remember now. Big Witch Doctor ult. Takes out Kaka.
Nobody can help the Witch Doctor.
The skewer misses as well. I can't remember why we clicked this.
But the Slark did go in.
This is where SCCC bought back, and they were unable to turn the fight.
That's right. He bought back, everyone died, and then they were like, okay, well, actually, we just lost mid.
Yeah. It was a really rough game. I mean, even if they there's no Ravage, sure, but there's also no RP. If Witch Doctor alone with an ultimate can zone people out like that, nobody to interrupt him from the backlines either.
That's the perfect Witch Doctor role when you just whack it down and they can't see you, and it was big. I feel like the Earth Spirit didn't actually do as much as we've seen Earth Spirits do.
I think it was just a hard game. I mean,
it was.
We knew that there was always going to be the control for like the Witch Doctor and such, but as for the Medicals, and I said with the big BKB timings that the Troll and such, there's very little that the Earth Spirit can do about the Troll. I mean, some situations with some sort of kick Mushi away, but with the move speed that the Troll has, with his item build, he's able to get straight back in there.
You know, the other problem is with the Bane, the grip is always going to get interrupted by Mirana. If she's got arrow up, you're always going to get interrupted.
There were some very good grips from Faith, but as you say, they just weren't good enough because they
didn't have enough there to follow it up. I also feel like the OD didn't really get the chance in these fights because he was under so much pressure to really just stand there and soak up that in and then Sanity's Eclipse and do that huge damage. It just never really came through for them. But I think, honestly, part of it was dropped, but I think Mineski just really played very well.
I really do. I don't think we're going to see Slark again. I think that was Newbee just trying something a little different. They felt that it was going to be a solid answer and that they could easily get these kills and stay ahead. But I think Mineski is showing us that they're maybe playing on a level that Newbee themselves didn't quite expect.
Also, didn't this happen this morning where Empire kicked Newbee's ass in the first game, and then
they just
were like, all right, let's win this.
So you know, now off the back of this, the Mineski have done something a little different. Newbee now sort of know what to watch out for. We saw Newbee after they lost to the Bounty and the Enchantress. They've been banning it out every game. Maybe this time around, I don't think we'll see like a Magnus or a Troll ban, but maybe, at least if they see the Magnus come up, they're going to be taking away the Mushi Troll. They're going to know sort of these pairings that Mineski were very, very good with.
There's another clip that you guys selected.
Okay, this one I think I can remember.
This is the good one.
And this is
the good one.
This is, I believe, around 35 minutes into the game.
Yeah, this was like
pushing Dire. Hang on, the song for setup.
This is one of the perfect RPs.
Look at that. Oof.
But the thing is, it doesn't quite go too perfect with Mineski. This is where Newbee are able to sort of turn around and get some sort of impact.
It's
with
because
that
Mugi was not in the RP this time, and the Ravage still comes out to slow everybody down. So the only damage really that comes off of that RP is the Magnus himself.
But look how long it's taken him to even kill this Witch Doctor, and they don't. Like they have to use the Eclipse just to kill Witch Doctor. Arrow catches him, he just gets it off.
As a Witch Doctor, that's a win right there.
Yeah, if it's like, okay, well, we're going to have to eclipse the Witch Doctor. This was like when I thought Newbee, if they'd won this fight convincingly, then they can get parity and even things up, but they just couldn't.
Yeah, like the fight, as you say, it was okay for Newbee, but it just wasn't good enough. This was a point where they would have been hoping to push in, do some damage to the mid lane of Mineski, and Mineski were able to... they won the fight in the sense that they stopped the push. They managed to push Newbee back. They themselves weren't forced to buy back on any heroes.
Yeah, that was big.
It was a win at the end of the day there for Mineski and sort of led on to the
Whereas Newbee, they bought back on
as
SCCC and they all died. So yeah, that was bad.
Their defense not nearly quite as
Luckily
good as
for Newbee, we know that they're a great team for bouncing back, as we saw already earlier today. So going into game 2, what are the most important things to look out for? Like
Naga Siren. That is the big
first pick in previous game went the way of Mineski, so I'm going to assume that first pick this time goes the way of Newbee.
I mean, we saw last time what they banned. Their first 2 bans were Bounty Hunter and Enchantress.
Yes.
They, to me, it really, because it was the Empire heroes. It seemed a bit weird that Newbee would just straight up do that. So I think if anything, that sort of shows they have these two bands that they would not mind sort of going the way of the Naga. If they, I don't know if they're going to have first pick, if they feel that they're not going to be able to get that Naga Siren themselves, maybe they have first pick this time around.
Do you think Newbee try to change the way that they're playing, perhaps, and like in even more dramatically?
I mean, as I say, they're not going to pick Slark again, so they'll change it in that sense. I think the SCC COD was still very good.
Yeah.
I think the KP Tidehunter, I think that's absolutely fine.
Yeah, yeah.
But
I mean, I would have looked at their draft and I was fairly happy with it.
Yeah.
Like you said, I mean, Slark was like, oh, interesting, but it's not like a, ooh. I don't think it's like the Troll. When I saw the Troll, I was like, wow, this draft actually really makes sense.
Yeah.
The empowered Troll and everything, it just worked, I think. But yeah, I think getting rid of Naga Siren is key. Getting rid of Naga Siren.
But we're not going to see a Troll either without a Magnus, surely.
I mean,
I don't think so. He's good,
it's very
but it's
unlikely.
not the same,
I mean, it definitely was the Magnus this game that enabled the Troll to win in the fashion that Mushi was. The Magnus was a massive.
Does that warrant a second phase ban for the Magnus?
I don't think so, because I think just now if you see the Mag, maybe you ban the Troll if you see the Magnus, or maybe you just pick a different carry. You just don't pick the Slark. I mean, there's some strength to the Slark. You have the Dark Pack to get, you don't worry about the Whirling Axes too much, but it's still a Slark. So
yeah.
I just like to see if it does go through again. With Mineski do try this sort of Magnus +1, but they don't pick the Slark. They pick something else.
I hadn't seen a Naga pick up the Ags before with the heal and everything. Like
no, we've had it a couple of times.
That's interesting.
Because normally the Naga Siren just doesn't get that farm.
Right.
If you have a Naga Siren, especially if you're like a team like Newbee, you're probably winning the game before you have the money for the Ags.
Exactly. But they were like, hey, let's get an Ags. And now we can just stand here and all heal up. It's ridiculous.
Was it a 70% heal with the 7 seconds, 10%?
It's crazy.
Of the max health per second.
MVP of previous game?
Is
it going to be Jabs and Naga Siren? Or is it going to be
just a bit of a cop-out to go with the Naga Siren, because he's playing Naga Siren. I'm sure he did play it really well, but it's just the hero.
He was on the Marana.
Marana was Moon.
I'm going to give it to Moon. I thought his Marana performance is great. We weren't quite sure whether we were going to run it or how it was going to work. Yeah. I thought he did great. Those arrows were on
the timing.
point.
Yeah, the timings were very good.
Perfect on
and the item build was great. He gets the Ags, and as we saw, that sort of just allowed him to keep the farm up. He was able to sort of keep himself very relevant. Mjolnir and Daedalus, he was punching like a truck. I think I would have to go with the Naga Siren with Jabs, but either that, because Ice, I don't know. For me, it was the draft. Whoever is responsible for picking these heroes.
Well, that would be Jabs, and as far as we can see, 7-2-1 as well.
The idea behind that draft was perfect.
Oh yeah.
Mushi 7-2-1 and Jabs, I would imagine.
We'll go with those three.
Yeah, and if you were to give some credit of why Newbee stayed in the game for as long as they did,